So this is my 1982 Alfa Romeo Alfasud, and this is the story of how this car was restored. It's only done 40,000 miles from new. There's only about 60 of them left in the UK, getting pretty rare, and this is how we put it back together. It needed a little bit of TLC, and you'll be able to see what we did and how much that will cost, and the finished result in this video. So thanks for watching. So it's a 1983 Alfasud on a Y. It's one of the last they built. It's the TI green clover leaf, which if you're into Alfasuds is the one to have. It's got a full fat 105 brake horsepower, which sort of put it up against the XR3 when it was new, not far off the Golf GTI. So it really was the sort of 80s hot hatch right in there with them amongst them. So it's finished in red, obviously. The TI gets the driving lights, all the black stuff on the front, bigger wheels, alloy wheels, and of course very 1980s over wheel arch extensions. Once it was stripped back, the car was pretty solid, but there was evidence of accident damage on the near side, and you can see in the photographs that we had to attend to sort of localized rot on one of the offside rear wheel arches and just on the B pillar on the driver's side. At some point in its history, the car had suffered accident damage down the near side, and the repair work, although it was historical, was not particularly good. So the lines were quite wavy, so we had to sort all of that out and restore the original lines to the car, particularly below the swage line on the door and on the rear panel in front of the rear wheel arch, just to get it right. The whole body was painted, so that included inside the door shuts, which a lot of painters overlook. So we went right inside the door shuts, as you can see in this picture, and yeah, finally looks like it's starting to come back to the red that it would originally have been when it left the factory in Naples. Here's the car being mopped and polished. We probably put a couple of days work into this, not because there was any issues with the paint, but because we wanted it to be absolutely right when it was finished, and it's definitely time well spent. So here's the car after it's been mopped and polished, and we're starting to put all the interior back in. So the carpets have gone in and the door panels will go on, and then obviously the boot and the bonnet will go on as well. And there is still quite a lot to do because this car's got various little decals and badges and things which we really want to get right. This is one of the fiddliest jobs with the car. So here we are putting on the black side stripes and the pinstripes. So with the Alfasud you get a big black stripe, and then it's got a much smaller
pinstripe above that, and all of that has to be really, really carefully applied. So there's probably at least half a day's work just to get this absolutely right. And but this is where the detail matters. This is where the time goes in just to get the job done properly.
So this is the finished car. Paint had all gone faded on the car, and it was pretty solid, though it needed a little bit of rust in very minor areas. So the car was completely resprayed. All the door returns, all the black work that you can see on there was all refurbished, and all of that was done for £2,000. That includes VAT, and that was done by Classic Fixers in Redditch, which is the company I run. But the figures that we're quoting are absolutely accurate if you paid that money. So we'll take a walk around in a minute, and then you can see the work that was done. Inside, it's very 80s. There's more red, because obviously you need more red when your car is already red. And if you weren't sure which car you were driving, you just need to look on the seat, and there it is, TI. It doesn't stand for injection, it stands for Turismo International, which was a racing series. This car is pretty rare, and it's got very low mileage for the year, 41,000. I've had it for about 10 years, and I bought it when it had done 37,000, so it really hasn't had a lot of use. But hopefully now that the car has been restored, that can change. On the back you get a spoiler, because of course with 105 horsepower you really do need to keep the back end of the car firmly planted. I'm sure Alfa Romeo knew what they were doing. And this car has, for Alfa nuts, the correct twin pipe rear exhaust, which is pretty rare nowadays. And it's probably the best name Alfa Romeo put on a car, Alfasud TI Quadrifoglio.